All right, week 11 college football breakdown here. Good little standalone Thursday night game in the American Athletic Conference. We've got Tulsa traveling to Memphis, seeing the Tigers at home, 6.5-point favorites in this spot, and a pretty above average total as well at 61.5. Right off the bat, one thing that makes this game tough to handicap from a side perspective, well, I guess from a total perspective too, Davis Brin, starting quarterback for Tulsa. We just don't know if he's going to play. Left last week's game against Tulane, pretty marquee matchup there. So it was definitely a serious matter that he couldn't finish that game. Not the first time he's been hurt this year. Tulsa's 3-6. It's just hard to know. Is he going to be back on a short week in this road matchup? The one thing I feel pretty good about, though, heading into this matchup is I think Tulsa's defense is the worst unit on the field. I know on the surface they only allowed 27 points last week to Tulane, but 357 rushing yards is a major red flag when you're talking about what's supposed to be a one-possession conference game. You're not playing a clearly superior opponent. I know Tulane's had a good year, but 357 yards on the ground, that's on the heels of them having given up 455 yards on the ground to Navy. They gave up 53 points to Navy. Just think about that. Those triple option teams aren't built to get into the 40s and the 50s. It's a real concern. I think Asa Martin, I think some of the guys in this Memphis running back room absolutely will be able to take advantage. Didn't see Martin a ton last week for Memphis, but almost at 6 yards per carry this season. I just don't see how that wouldn't match up well against a team that's consistently getting gashed on the ground. Tulsa's secondary does have their moments, but I actually like Seth Hennigan for Memphis. I mean, he's at least an 8-yard per attempt guy. He was higher than that last year. The one concern about this Memphis offense is definitely the offensive line. They have struggled to protect him at times this year. They've had some real blow up performances, but does Tulsa have anything in the pass rush that scares me? No. So I actually think Memphis should be able to hold up well up front. We know they're going to be able to run the football. Seth Hennigan has proven to be plenty competent enough of a quarterback. I mean, 65% completion. As I mentioned, he's right at 8 yards per attempt this year, but in a matchup like this, when the run game is going to be there for him, going to make his life that much easier. So, we're probably going to get that Memphis team total around 34 and a half. I think that should be in the upper 30s, quite frankly. So that's my best look on this game. And, given the pace that both these teams play at, should be plenty of possessions to go around. As far as just playing a side in this game, it is a little bit suspect that this line won't budge and move to 7. Maybe that's an indicator that Brin plays. I wouldn't be totally opposed to laying the points with Memphis. I just don't have a great feel as to how Braylon Braxton, if he were to have to go in this game, would be able to fare against this Memphis defense. I wouldn't say Memphis' defense is great. They allowed North Texas and Arkansas State to get into the 30s this year, so I wouldn't say it's a stout defense. I don't really want to have to worry about that side of the matchup. It's Memphis team total over or it's pass for me. When those team totals get posted in the morning, I'll more than likely be on that team total over. All right, guys, before we get out of here, I know you see this quarter zip right here. Head over to proud90.com. for all your golf apparel needs. With the colder weather now here, they got a great selection of hoodies and quarter zips for you. If you've watched the channel, you've seen me rocking the polos here all throughout football season. Browse their selection. If you see anything you like at checkout, use code Fordham. It's going to get you 15% off your entire order. That's code Fordham at checkout. It's going to get you 15% off your order. Support me, support Proud90, proud90.com.